get started. We might have a few more that join us, but I do want to be conscious of your time. For those of you who don't know me, I am Amanda Ream. I am the Public Image co-chair for District 7545. So it's great to have all of you on here today. I do want to tell you that we are recording this, so we will be sharing it on our YouTube page within a couple of days, and we'll send you all that link as well. So the reason why we are here today is because we had some requests from some of the Rotarians in our district that were asking for a basic course, some people that had never been on Rotary Brand Center, some people that had very little interaction with Canva. So that's what you're going to get here today. So those of you that have some familiarity with both of those programs, this might just be more of a refresher for you, because we're going to kind of stick with the basics today, kind of do an overview and show a little bit of some of the tools of the trade and kind of go from there. If you have any questions at any time, feel free to interrupt me and ask them, or use the chat section, and I will keep monitoring that and try to get those answered. I do not profess to be an expert in anything, so if I don't have the answer for you, I will try to find that out for you and get back to you. So we'll just kind of go from there. But let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to attempt to share my screen here. Okay, is that showing for everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Yep.
All right, terrific. So what are we talking about here today? So for those of you who are not familiar, Rotary Brand Center is a terrific tool provided by Rotary. It is for all Rotarians. You do not have to be level in your club or hold any sort of leadership position. And it provides a whole slew of visual and marketing materials for your club, press release templates. It's just a great place for people that deal with any sort of PI for the club, public image, any sort of publicity or marketing to utilize these free tools that they provide for you. People who have been with me before on these calls, I've been a Rotarian now for 10 years. I will tell you that I have a love-hate relationship with Rotary Brand Center, but I'm in love with it now. When I first started about 10 years ago, I don't think it was as user-friendly as it is. And so they've really worked on that. And so you do not need to be any sort of graphics designer or marketing expert to utilize it. Canva is a graphics design platform, but don't let that terminology fool you. You do not have to have any expertise in that as well. And you can use it to make any sort of graphics, flyers, presentations, social media, things of that nature. Anything you want, you can really find on there. And the thing that I love about that is, one, as I said, it's user-friendly. Two is the sizing. In this case, size matters, and what's great is Canva does all of that for you. So if you're working across different platforms, it can help you do that as well. And you can upload all of your own images as well, so really customize things. So we'll be taking a look at both of those today. I want to talk to you a little bit about some lingo that you might hear. Rotary is certainly known for its lingo. And what you'll see here is you will hear the term mark of excellence. And so that references the Rotary wheel, just the wheel. You'll also hear the Rotary logo. Well, the Rotary logo, also known as the master brand signature, is the Rotary wheel, the mark of excellence, plus the word Rotary. And that second logo down there is kind of the new logo that is supposed to be used. And then the bottom one, which is an old faithful, but that is the former logo. That one is not really supposed to be used anymore. And that is the two-tone gold and blue together with the Rotary International. And so that's been replaced. I think the goal behind replacing that and having the Rotary word out separate beside the wheel was to really make it more prominent and easy to read for folks to really acknowledge and understand that it's Rotary. So you might see some of those terms today as we go forward. So this, I have this really for the benefit of those who might be watching this video after the fact, but it's very easy to get to Rotary Center, and we're going to go there and work from it live. But just so that you know, you can get to it from rotary.org and click on My Rotary at the top of that page. It's in the middle. If you don't have an account, register for an account. Again, it's open to all Rotarians. You do not have to have a leadership position or anything like that. If you run into any situations, I had a situation about 5 or 6 years ago where I got logged out of my Rotary account. It had been so long since I'd been there, I didn't remember anything. They're very helpful with Rotary International to get you back online, so that's not a problem. We've also got over here, let me some background. We're going to get everybody muted here if we can do that. Thank you for pointing that out. I think we've got everybody muted now. Thanks for pointing that out. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and take you. This is Canva. We're going to go there next after we do Rotary Brand Center. And you get to that by canva.com. You can create an account. It is free. And we'll go through the different steps that you can use in this particular app. I'll tell you, you will hear a lot of Rotarians talk about Canva. We don't get any money off of it. We don't get anything, no sponsorships or anything like that, but it's just a great tool and it's an easy to use tool, which is why we help to promote that. And let's take you out here. And we're going to take you straight into My Rotary. All right. So hopefully everybody can see we've got My Rotary pulled up right now, and I'm logged in under my account. And if you look at the top here, they've got a whole bunch of different sections that you can look under: exchange ideas, take action. While we're here, I will just point out and do a little bit of a plug for Rotary. If you look down here at the Learning Center, that is under the Learning and Reference section, I'd recommend, if you've never utilized that, to check that out. They've got some great tools for marketing and public image under there. They also have some great courses that just might help you in your own professional development unrelated to Rotary. So just take some time to explore that. You're going to hear me a lot today use that word explore. That is the easiest way to learn how to use Brand Center and Canva, is just take some time to play around with it. You can't break anything, so have some fun with it. But we're going to go over to the Member Center, and you can find Brand Center right down here and click on that. You can actually find Brand Center throughout the Rotary page there on My Rotary. It's under several different tabs. But either way, it's going to get you there. It's going to log us in here. Okay, and here we are. So this is the Rotary Brand Center. Hopefully everybody can see that. If you run into any problems, let me know. And let's kind of just go through what we have here to show you. So if you go to the top, I want to point out this part here about Our Image Matters. Click on that and take you there. And I just want to point out some of the tools that are on this particular page, which could be helpful. And it's kind of the point of you deciding how much into the nitty gritty and all of the detail that you want to get. But they have several good guides here that are available for download: this Identity at a Glance, this Voice and Visual Identity Guidelines, and the Messaging Guides. And I like all three of those, depending on, you know, like I said, how involved you want to get. But one of the things that's great is that they both have, all of those guidelines will provide you with the information about the Rotary logo and the Rotary colors, and give you the details of how to get the colors elsewhere when you're using them. So I always have that Identity at a Glance available, and I'll show you how we use it in Canva, because you can actually plug in the actual Rotary colors and make sure that you're matching everything up correctly there. The Voice and Visual Identity Guidelines, they're pretty detailed, but the thing I like about that is they're terrific to give you some inspiration when you're trying to come up with social media posts or different things that you want to share on your different avenues, whether it's your website, whether it's in flyers or social media. But it talks about the Rotary voice. And when you're talking about the Rotary voice, you're looking at making sure that you're portraying us as an active organization, that we're out in the community, that we're having an impact on our community. And they give really good examples of, you know, if you're talking about trying to solicit new members, and I notice we've got our district membership chair on here, so she's very familiar with this. But if you're trying to solicit new members, then you might use some language, sort of the formal Rotary voice, where it talks about Rotary is made up of people around the world, and, you know, come join us, that type of thing. But they give you some suggestions of how to make it more active, talking about it's amazing what we can accomplish when we have minds that work together, when we have a diverse group of people. It's just kind of a good way to get some ideas for some wording and different things like that when you start to kind of get stuck. So I just want to give you those suggestions there to take a look under Our Image Matters, because I think that can be helpful to folks. All right, so let's go back here, still in Brand Center. And let's take you down to some of these different sections. So as we said, we're going to kind of start with the basics here. And so I was just going, first of all, to logos and clicking on that. And when you go here, you are going to see the official Rotary logos. And so this right here, the one that is titled Rotary Logos, which I just clicked on, this is what Rotary Brand Center looks like. It gives you all of these different options. You can see youth exchanges here. It has people of action. You'll find Rotaract and Interact as well here. And you can just download these to your computers and save them. And what's terrific about them is you don't have to worry about the sizing, the colors, anything like that. It's all done for you. And you can also see there are different options, and all of them are considered Rotary appropriate, so to speak. And so you can use the black and white. You can use just the all white, particularly if you're using a dark colored background. They've got the multicolor, which is the blue and the gold. And so these can all be saved. And it's very simple. You just click on that, and it will pop up. It's a little bit slow sometimes when you're doing it with the Zoom sharing here. And then you can see kind of what format that you can have it in, whether you want it for a PNG for word processing or things like that, or if you want the EPS for high quality professional use. And then you simply download that and it will save to your computer. And then you'll have that for future use. And then we'll be using that, for example, later when we go to Canva, we'll be able to upload all of those logos. And then I'll just show you, just for ease, it downloaded it. And right there's the full logo that you can utilize. Okay. So let me go back here. And like I said, they have also what's referenced, just you might see this term simplified logo. That's also a logo that you can use. It does not contain the Rotary International in the wheel. That's the difference there, in case you're wondering, when they reference the simplified logo. But you can also get the Mark of Excellence, which is just the wheel if you're looking for just the square for something like that. But you can see here, it's got all of the choices that you really would need for the basic different kind of entities associated with Rotary. If we hop back out though, the next best thing here is logo templates. So this is what you're going to want to do to really customize and create something of your own. When you click on that, and you click on Club Logo Template, you can create your own. It's very simple. Again, it takes care of all of the sizing and the formatting for you. And it pops up here. And you can see Rotary Club. And it's got over here on the right-hand side, you can pick your language. Oops, hold on. So you can actually do Spanish, Italian, French. You can decide whether you want a Rotary, a Rotaract, or an Interact logo that you're trying to customize. And select that. It has the normal or the simplified, so that simplified would take out that Rotary International in the wheel. You can choose full color, the blue, the black, or the white. When you do the white, I will tell you it does not show up until you download the way that they've designed it here, but it will save with the white. And then you can decide where you want the your customization to be. So for example, you can go in here and type, let me see, we've got somebody. You can type in here South Charleston, and now we've got a customized logo for my club. It's very simple. You just type it in, and then you save it. You can name it South Charleston logo, and then you'll be able to download that. Very simple, very easy to do. And again, you can do that, and then it takes you right to the download page. And you can save that either in PDF form, JPEG, and really simple. So let's go back. So when we got to this logo page to create your own, the other thing that's great about this brand center is you can create a lot of your own things here. And hopefully people are familiar with the People of Action, which is a campaign that started a few years ago with Rotary, where they really were, again, trying to promote the fact that we are active folks that are out there in the community and kind of spreading the word. And they've got this great campaign. And you can take this as is. You can download it as is, use the pictures that they have, and that's not a problem. But what's wonderful is you can customize it. And so let's do that here. So you've got here, again, you choose your language. And you also can choose your word. So if you want to do, that we connect, so to speak, and it'll change that word for you. This page is typically a little slow. There, it chops in. It's got a new picture there, but you can press on custom, and it'll say, click here to select an image, which I've done. And then you can upload your own image right here. And so you do that by pressing on the choose file down here. It's the plus sign, and you can add an image. I've already got images here from my group. So for example, I can select this one and it will plug in there. And those are actual Rotarians from my club. So anytime you have the opportunity to take some of the advertising that they have and provide it for you, you can make it a little bit more personalizing to everybody. So as long as you can have your own members in it, your own language, anything like that, it can kind of make it a little bit more personal. If you're new to this whole system and you guys don't have the photographs together or anything like that, that is not a problem either. You can just utilize the pictures that they have provided for you. And when you click on the preset picture, you can see that they have other options besides the original one that was in there. So you can look and see whatever you feel would be more appropriate for your particular promotion that you're doing. You can change the wording again. So here's Together We Learn. And that's a great, kind of educational opportunity. So as you can see, hopefully what you're seeing here, if I'm not going too quick for you, is that it's really simple. It's very much a, you click and then you can just upload your own pictures. You can change the language on it. This People of Action sort of has a particular look to it, which is the permanent marker font, and we'll be talking about that with Canva. And so it's very easy to make it your own. Okay, here, we've got a couple questions here. Can you move any of the words? So Arma, that's a good question. On this particular template, you are not able to move the words around, but we can take this template and use it over in Canva, and then you would be able to move the words and select where you would like them. But this one is sort of a set.
I was just asking, because when you put your picture in, the Together We was like right in somebody's face.
Right.
And I didn't know if you could move that at all to adjust it.
So you can adjust the picture somewhat, but you kind of have to play around with the pictures, because you really do, like, this is a great picture that they have because the wording does not cover any of the people.
Right.
And so, but you can move the picture a little bit and change the sizing of the picture, but you can't change the sizing of the letter or the locations of the letters on this one.
Okay, thanks.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to head back to our Create Your Own again. And here again, you can do this People of Action Facebook posts. You can do a print ad. It's the same concept. They've got the Facebook cover down here. And they also have the Rotary Club brochures. Now, I don't know how many of you are using brochures right now. I know that this is sort of a unusual time. Some of us aren't in person, but my club has used these brochures on several occasions, actually. We've gone to some business and organizational type fairs, and so we've had them for that. And then we've, used them just to pass out to new members. And this is another great thing because the sizing is done for you. It's just doing a whole bunch of plugging in. You can utilize the brochure again as is with the pictures that they have, but I would suggest that you go in and take some time to upload your own pictures. This is another thing where you select your language up at the top, and then hopefully you can see on the screen, it gives you the option of left panel, middle panel, and right panel. And so if we select here the left panel, so that's the picture. And so if I want to go through and click custom again, click here to select an image. If I want to upload a new picture, I click on the cross down at the bottom, the plus sign, and I can upload a new picture. I've got some here. Let's just take this one, for example. Probably, yeah. And now we've got a new picture, and those are my Rotarians that were doing a backpack stuffing at a school. So you can see that now. It does note over here that, for example, this is not a high resolution picture. And so it talks about, that's just to kind of give you some notice that depending on, it might affect the print quality, but it does say it should be suitable for desktop printing. And for example, we've never had a problem with this. This is actually what that picture, we used this for our printing. And so that's not been a problem.
Hey, Amanda.
Oh, yes.
Hey, it's Jeff.
Hey, Jeff.
Hey, maybe I missed it, but when you were clicking to your custom, how do you do a search? like on your, when you go to custom, yours is automatically populating with what your
Gotcha. Yeah.
photos already are, but you're not showing how you got to that point. I'm sorry, I
Okay.
didn't interrupt.
That's okay. Let me take you to that point. Thanks for asking, Jeff. Okay, so again, we're going to click custom. Click here to select an image. I'm going down here to this plus sign at the bottom. Hopefully you can see that. I'm going to click on that, and then it says choose file. So I'm going to select and go to my pictures. So this is coming from my desktop now.
I got you. I missed the choose file page. Sorry.
Yeah, that's no problem. So we'll put Chuck Bell, even though he's not in and upload that. And so that'll upload it. And then what's great, I'm glad you pointed that out, Jeff, because as you said, it populates and it saves it for you. So now I'm forming my own library to come back and use that, whether I want to use it with the brochure or use it with something else. So thanks for the question. So it's a little slow with the upload. So we'll go ahead and take this down for a second. And then just to kind of, so now we're on the middle panel that I've selected here. It's the same thing as far as the pictures, and you can select whatever kind of pictures that you want to put in there. And that is not my club, but those are some local Rotarians there that we've got put in there. And then you can come down to the text section. And this, you can utilize the suggestions that they give you. You can change it up completely. So we could put in here, our upcoming meeting dates. And then it'll save that for you. And then you can come down here and add in those dates. You can be as descriptive as you want. I know that for my club, we would go and really make note of which of those dates were community service dates, because people sometimes find that appealing and things like that. They've got some language in here, join our next meeting or service project. We like that. You want to make sure then to update this so that you have your club name here. And it really gives you the suggestions of what to put where, and you can decide if you want to utilize that or change that more to your liking. And then you can add contact information here. So, can everybody kind of see how that's coming together? Hopefully that looks easy enough for folks. And then again, it's automatically saving everything for you. Then we come to the front page here, and we're going to put Rotary Club of South Charleston. That's going to be our front cover. We can make that heading, a different size if we want. It'll make it smaller. And then we can kind of go from there. Now this is, if you'll notice over on the left, this was the front, and there is a back to this because this is a two-sided brochure. And so this is the exact same thing on the back, where you go through each panel and you can choose pictures. And let me just reiterate, just to make sure I was clear too, when you click on the pictures and it's set to preset, they have other options too for you. So they have a whole bunch of other preset pictures that you can select and put in there. Very easy to do. They've got some language here about people of action. And what I did for my particular club is I kept some of this language that they had because it was great. And then I added some additional details and made it specific to our club. So like it says here, our club is a proud part of this community of Rotary, blah, blah, blah. I would leave that in there, but I would also add some language about what our club does. When you go to the middle panel and it's got some suggestions here, it actually tells you to kind of go through here and list some of the local projects that you do. So hopefully that makes sense to folks. Are there any questions right now about how to utilize the brochure method? Okay, we'll tab back here. You can also do they've got promotional cards for the Young Leaders Program as well. So this is all under Create Your Own on Brand Center. We'll go back here to, this is our logo. Back to Brand Center to the front page here. Okay, so Brand Center here. So there's a lot more that they have to offer. If you click under People of Action, you're going to have the create your own option. That's going to take us to the page where we just were. It also has some other resources that you can use and just download directly that are the more general people of action campaigns. And what you will find here is that you will find that they have all different languages. You can narrow that down over here on the side and select which language that you want so that you're not looking through everything all at once. And so it's searching for English here. It has backgrounds for your virtual meetings. It's got videos that you can download and utilize those on your social media page, web page, whatever you'd like to promote, maybe at a meeting if you've got something that you want to share. It's got the people of action in different sizes. So if you want banners or if you want flyers of a certain size, you can download those. And it's got you know, basic education and literacy banners. So when you go through here, I just suggest kind of play around a little, look at all of the different things that it has to offer. And so you can have some fun with that. So going back to Brand Center, you're also going to find that it's got more images and video. These are not just the people of action. All of these are downloadable and for your all's use. So I just recommend that you take advantage of that, take a look at all of those. You'll find some good things out there for you. I think that as Rotarians, a lot of times we don't take advantage of everything that Rotary International already has to offer us. And then they also have these print ads. They even have outdoor ads to help you if you are looking to do a billboard or things of that nature. They've got radio public service announcements that you can utilize to send over to your radio. So there's a lot of different options of things that are already there for you. And then some of those limited ones that I showed you, you can customize as well. Okay. Any questions so far? Feel free to stop me. But that is an overview of Rotary Brand Center, which kind of leads us perfectly into Canva. So let me take you there. So Canva.com is where we're going to start here. As I mentioned, it's a graphics design page, and this is where we are right now. And this is, I'm already logged into Canva. You can create your own account. They have two versions. They have a free version and a pro version. So free version is obviously free. That's where I recommend that anybody start. The pro version does have a cost associated with it. Now, a 501c3 is usually able to get that for free. You have to apply through Canva to do that. Most Rotary clubs are a 501c4, so you can't get it through that avenue. I do know that some organizations have joined forces because you are allowed to have multiple users on Canva. And so some organizations join together and kind of utilize one program. The other thing is if your particular club, if it has a foundation that's a 501c3, then you can sign up and get it free that way. So hopefully that makes sense. I will tell you, I've used Canva for several years now, both for Rotary and for my work. I'm a executive director of a local chamber of commerce. It's very helpful for both of those things. And even the free version, quite frankly, has a lot to offer. So I always recommend start with the free version if you've never used it before. They'll even offer you typically an opportunity to do a 30-day trial of the pro version. So you could check it out and see if the advantages to the pro are worth it to your organization. So I'm going to kind of focus on the free stuff today, though, but I'll point out some of the highlights of some of the things that the paid version, the pro version as it's referred to, can do. So I do want to point out a couple of things when you come to this page here. And so this is Canva, and I mentioned the sizing issue, which I was kind of making a joke, but it is very serious because one of the great things about Canva is it'll do all the sizing for you. So when you come to the home page, you're going to have a whole bunch of different options. If you click on social media, you'll see Instagram posts, you'll see TikTok background, Facebook post, Facebook cover, Facebook event. All of that is done for you as far as the sizing. That's what makes Canva great, so that when you go in there and you select what kind of template you want, it will go ahead and take care of that for you, and you don't have to worry about the pixels and different things like that. You can do pretty much anything on Canva. I did that original presentation where I was showing you the slides. I did that on Canva. You can actually make t-shirt designs. You could design your own logo on Canva if you wanted to. So there's a lot of different options here for you. If you go to learn, one of the nice things about Canva is they have this kind of design school is what they call it. And if you go over here and click on that, the thing that's nice about Canva is it has all of these different tutorials and how to use it and how to design it. And most of them are very short and sweet, which is nice. So you can go on there and click on a couple of tutorials and they only take about 2 to 3 minutes each. And you'll get a wealth of knowledge of how to utilize Canva. So I just recommend that for you as well. But we're going to go ahead and hop right into it and show you how to do a couple of different things on Canva that might be beneficial to your club. And I'm going to start, I think I'm going to start over here with social media, and let's do a Facebook post. So you click on Facebook post, and it's going to pop up for you, and you're going to start off with a blank screen. I'm going to start off actually utilizing a template and show you how you can, in what I call, in my words, rotarize the template. And so what's great is they have all these templates that you can choose from. They are free. They have a whole bunch of free ones. They do in the pro version have some additional ones as well. But when you're in Canva, it always tells you whether or not it's free or whether there's a charge associated with that. And you can really take anything that's kind of basic and simple and make it into a Rotary appropriate thing. So let's start with this one, kind of an easy one here. And so I've clicked on this Facebook post template for a happy birthday. And this is one of the free versions here. And so when you see that you're in Canva, when you've got a template here, everything has its own little box. It's just, you know, you've got your happy birthday in a box, it's in a text box, same up here, and then you've got a picture box. So I'm going to start by selecting this entire thing here, and we've got the background picture here. So let's say we want to make sure that we're utilizing the Rotary blue. So you might recall that I talked about the visual guidelines that you can get and download from Brand Center. That was kind of at the beginning. And what you can get from that is it'll tell you the particular colors that are the Rotary colors. So the Azure blue, for example, is kind of the famous blue. And when you download that, it has a hex number that goes with that. And so the hex number for that color is, you do a hashtag 0050A2. And so we've got that number, and right there pops up. Hopefully you guys recognize that. And now the background is the Rotary blue. So I've just selected that. So let's say we want to go ahead and make this happy birthday, and we want to use that, you know, famous Rotary gold yellow color. So if you go back to that visual identity guidelines that I talked about from Rotary Brand Center, it's got a hex number for that. And we can type that in. And it is, I think, F7, excuse me. F7A81B. So you type that in. Whoops, hold on, I typed in the wrong spot here. Got to click on the font, and now we type it in. Apologize for that. So I'm typing in the hex number that you find in the visual guidelines, and it's F7A81B. And now we've got our Rotary yellow gold color. So now let's go up here to our favorite human, and we're going to click up here with the letter A. That's the text color again. And it's going to see, now you'll see that we've got documents colors over here on the side, and it has saved our Rotary blue and our yellow, our orange, or gold, however you want to call that. And we can now press on that, and now we've got it saved over here. So it's very easy how it just sort of, once it finds it, it then saves it as one of its colors for that. So we can change the language up here. So I'm clicking on the text box. I've highlighted it. And so now I'm going to type in here, Rotary celebrates 116 years. You can also make the text box larger by expanding it that way. You can expand both ways here. Do a nice little return. You can make it smaller. And now we've got, it references Rotary. You can come down here, and let's say we don't want this particular language. We just press delete. That's going to disappear. We can remove the whole box. And let's say we want to go ahead and add in our particular logo to help promote Rotary's birthday. So I'm going to go over to uploads. So when you click here on upload media, you can upload pictures from your device. You can upload Rotary logos that you just downloaded from the brand page, and you just select them and include them here. So I've got the Rotary International logo. And then you can select it and you can put it on your page here. You can size it. The dots in the corners will come up and allow you to size it. And you can put it down here in the corner. Now, if you have an issue like this, so the background's not great because you've got a blue background and a blue logo, you can go back up to the background color, click on that. You can make that white if you want, and then that'll pop. But let's go back to the blue and keep it blue. And let me go back over to uploads. And you'll notice that I've already got an image library going on here. So these are all of the uploads that I have done in the past to Canva. And if we go down here, I have already uploaded the Rotary District 7545 logo in white. So I'm going to remove this other logo, click on that. We can then crop it up at the top so that we can resize it and make it a little bit more easy to manage. Click done when you're done cropping, and we can put that down in the corner and size that so it'll fit here to kind of help promote our district. Now, the pink colors, that doesn't really work for us either. So you can actually select this picture here. I clicked on it, so there's now a box around the cake, and you'll see the different shades of pink that they've got up here. So I'm going to select one of those and come over here, and as soon as you do that, then the colors pop back up again. Under document colors, you'll see that orange yellow, that's the Rotary color, the gold, and now I can select that and it'll change that color of pink. I can also select a different one of the pinks that's in the cake, and I can change it to the navy. Well, that disappears the cake. I can change it to white, so now we've got that. I can select another one and change that to the navy. But you can see here, you can have a little bit of fun and change all of these colors so that then you now have a Rotary color-themed post that you can have fun with. And so you can select all of these different pictures and change all of the pinks. You can add blues, you can add other yellows, and change the colors for all of those and really make it Rotary forward. Does that make sense to folks?
Amanda?
Yes.
Does it let you do a picture replace, or do you have to eliminate the box and start with a whole new box? Like when you put
yes.
that bottom corner, go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I'm sorry. I got choked up there. Yes, you can usually just replace a picture. Yes. So let's go here. Let's go to the cake, and we'll go to elements here on the side, and I'll just show you. Well, actually, let me do one of the uploads that we have. So let's say we want to remove that cake, and we can upload this fella. He's a Rotarian somewhere. Now, hold on. That one actually didn't let me remove it. So that one's not letting me do an actual replace. Sometimes it does let you do a replace here, but you can easily pop over and do the sizing, and then you could change the sizing of that as well. Okay.
It's fine. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make it more difficult.
No, not a problem. I appreciate the questions. And you'll notice here, so I've listed, for example, I've taken a picture. This isn't necessarily the best one to use, but we'll use it for an example. And it's on top of the lettering here. If you click on position, you can mark that as backward. And so now the lettering is over on top of his head. And so you can position your different pictures to layer them on top of one another. So that's just a good tool to have when you're focused on a box or a text box up here. That position is going to allow you to bring that forward or to bring it backward, which is another tool that you can use here. So when you look at the templates, the point is that they have tons of these different templates, and you can search anything over here. You can see there's St. Patrick's Day up here. If you're wanting to search for some sort of event, event flyer, you can click on that and the different ones will come up, and I've utilized this one down here, this annual picnic. That's a good one because it already has sort of the Rotary colors associated with that. And you can take any of these flyers and have some fun and change them up and make them into Rotary colors if you'd like. You can add your own Rotary pictures and have some fun with it. You could, if you're doing a Mardi Gras type party, you could start off with this and then change the background. I know that we have folks that do the Mardi Gras type thing. They could do one of those pictures in the background and then have the language above it. So it's just kind of a fun opportunity to play around and come up with something that might work for you. One of the things that you might have noticed here is it actually carried over some of the language that I used because it's still working on that same template, which is kind of fun. So you can test out some different things that way. So that is when you're starting with a template. I think that's kind of good when you're utilizing different ideas. And then you can also just go with a blank screen here. Let me exit out and show you how to start with a blank. So if we're going to do a Facebook post, and start with our blank screen, and you can once again really do anything that you'd like here. If you want to start with text, it does a nice job. It has a heading, subheading, and then the body of the text to kind of give you some sizing options. So if you want to start with an event, or maybe you're promoting something like a backpack buddy program, and you start with that. So it types it in for you. It's using the Open Sans Extra font automatically, but when you click on the text box, you can come up here and you can select all of these different fonts to choose from. You'll notice the ones that have a crown, that is a font that would charge something, but as you can see, there are a lot of different choices that do not require any fee associated with that. So that would be, the crown ones are part of the pro level. You can move this up. You'll see that it automatically brings lines to help kind of navigate for you and show you the center of everything. So we can start up here. And then you can also do the coloring. So you can select the letters and go back here and select, you know, what color would you like those to be and the different font colors.
Can you select the Rotary fonts and it will remember them for you?
Yes, so you can save the Rotary fonts as part of a, well, there's a couple of different ways to do that. So you can save it as part of the styles, and it will let you update and set brand colors. So I just selected on what was under styles and brand colors. So you could upload your logo. So let's do that here. Let's do the Rotary International logo. So now it's got that Rotary International logo for you. And then you can come down here to the palette and select, and you can type in those hex numbers that we were talking about before, and it's going to save that under your styles as your brand colors. Does that make sense? So you can type those in. So you're just going to want that visual guideline from the brand center, and then you can go in and you can type in those hex codes and it'll save all of those for you.
So the hex codes came from Rotary Club Central?
That's correct. Rotary Club Central, the visual, the voice and visual identity guidelines. So that includes all of the hex codes, and it includes all of the secondary hex codes too. So if you want to do anything of the colors that are associated with the Rotary Opens Doors font as well, that has cranberry and things like that in it, it will include those colors as well.
Thanks, Amanda.
Sure. And then over here for your benefit, you can also add in your fonts. And I can tell you, so it has those listed out as well in that visual guide. And for Rotary, it's nice because so Rotary has a particular licensed font, which is this, I don't even know how to say it, Frutiger, maybe? Frutiger font, which you cannot find anywhere. But it does say if you cannot find that, the free option that you're going to find would be the Open Sans and the Open Sans Condensed, and then Arial, and then Georgia. So those are the different fonts that it recommends. And then if you're familiar with the People of Action that we were doing earlier, the permanent marker font right there is that People of Action font. That should look familiar. So you can upload all of those and save them into your brand kit, and then you'll have them to use in the future. Does that answer the question for you? Hopefully. Let me go back here.
And your brand kit is one general database. You don't have to make like multiple folders, like if you're doing different different events.
That's correct.
Okay.
Yes, that's correct. It'll save that for you. And then let me pull up here this one that we were working on. The other thing that's kind of nice too, and let me select, well, so with the uploads that I've already got in here, and we've got our Rotary logo. So I've got the Rotary logo here. And let's say I'm going to go back and I want to type some more text. I'm going to put this down here at the bottom, and we're going to type some text, and we're going to add a subheading, and it's in the Open Sans, which happens to be the Rotary language. You know, join us on Thursday for stuffing bags, like that. And I'm going to go over here to the text color again. One of the other things that it does nicely is that it'll pick up document colors and photo colors. And so it has automatically picked up that the colors from the Rotary logo. And let me show it with a different logo, because that might be a little bit helpful for you to see. It should work with the Canvastro here if I do that, just to show you. This is kind of a nice tool. So I'm going to put this to the side just to, for purposes, and then come back here and go to the font. Click on the font colors, and now you can see it has picked up the Canvastro colors in the logo, and you can select those right away for the font. So that's just a nice feature of Canva that'll kind of help you with that as well. So you can have those logos in your styles section over there, that brand that we were talking about, and you can also pull colors from logos. So if you're doing, you know, sponsorships and things like that, and recognizing a sponsor, you can utilize pulling their logos as well. Does that make sense for folks? Just let me know if it does. I know there's a lot of info. Just want to show you a couple more tools here that you've got over on the side. So everything for Canva, again, is very user-friendly. It's just a lot of point and click. So uploads is where you upload media. You can upload images, you can upload videos and audio as well. I'm not going to play these now, but these videos I created for the chamber, and we actually put them into a Facebook post and then shared that post on Facebook. And so that was something that was really easy to utilize. Over here are all the photos that Canva has to offer. And they will tell you if it has a little crown, then that's, you know, a pro picture, but they do have a lot that are free as well that you can utilize. And they have lots of different, just anything that you want to search for.
Look, Sean, flamingos.
Yeah, that is a popular search for me. So you can see here all of the different, you know, flamingo options that you can pop in, and you very easily can pop in a picture there.
Great
and then
plug.
have that show up.
Great plug, Amanda. Thank you.
Hey, I'm trying here. One of the other things that is nice, and that is a feature of the Canva Pro, if you go up to effects, is it has a background remover. And when you click on that, it will remove the background, hence the name. But it is nice if you're doing something, it's kind of moving a little bit in slow motion here, but it's going to get rid of that background of the flamingo, and then you'll just have the flamingo, and you can play around with that and have some fun. So there's our flamingo that's now walking all by itself there.
Does that do that with your photos as well?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does.
Wow.
And one of the things here, so this Canvastro photo, let me show you. So right now I have selected the entire box that this is in. You can see it is highlighted, and I'm going to go up here to background color, and I'm going to choose a yellow background color. And you can see Canvastro, when they sent over the logo, it has that white background. But I can select the Canvastro picture, go to that effects, and remove the background, and that's going to get rid of that white background. So that has been very beneficial when I've been recognizing sponsors and things like that, to be able to remove some of those backgrounds and have just the logo, if that makes sense. So also over here, you've got elements. And so you will see that there is a whole world on Canva of, you know, geographic shapes and lines and stickers and charts and different things that you can use and plug in, cartoon type characters, just, you know, everything under the sun that you can use and just really have a lot of fun with and plug it in. And it is, once again, where it's just to select it, bring it over to your picture. You can resize your picture, make it larger. The other thing that you can do, let me delete some of these things to make it easier. So I've got this little design here. I don't know what that is. And let's say I want it to go all the way across the bottom. You can come over here, and it has a duplicate button, and it'll duplicate all of these. And then you can move them and wherever you would like to have them. So it's just a very easy tool. Against, you don't have to have any sort of graphic background design. Text is what we discussed. You can also utilize some of these templates that they have and have kind of fun, and they've got, you know, neon sign type looking things that you can utilize.
Amanda,
styles.
how many hours have you stayed in here?
So it is funny. You can kind of get lost in Canva, but it has truly been kind of a learning on the job type process. The more I use it, the easier I find it. But it's not difficult. I know sometimes when you go to some of these seminars and you're like, this is a lot of information that you're giving out at once, it can seem overwhelming. But once you get in there, I think you'll find that it's pretty easy. I do like that when I don't know if it's showing up well on your screen, but there are lines that show up that give me borders and show me centering and things like that to make things easier as well. When you click down here for background, you can change the background of the entire picture and just click on that. And then that's going to pop up and change the whole background. They have tons of different backgrounds you could utilize. It'd be great when you're promoting the different kind of, environmental causes that Rotary has, to pick a nice background for that and things like that. So does this make sense to folks? Any questions? This is kind of a high level. Oh, I'm sorry.
How did you duplicate that element? I think I blinked and missed that.
That is okay. So you select the element. You can see I've got it highlighted now. There's a box around it. And up here, there are the two boxes, one of which has a plus sign on it, and it says duplicate. And then you do that, and it's gonna end up right on top of it, by the way. Sometimes they get a little hidden. And so then you can change the sizing. Cool. You can also, this is not a good element to show it, but let me get another element up there. I'm sorry?
It's very strange, whatever it is.
But it is. I just selected it because it was there, but it is.
There was new legislation introduced today about medicinal marijuana, Irma. That's why she's using that.
Hey, now this is how we get there.
Flamingo for sure.
So I just got the flamingo to show you because it's very
in the weeds.
Yes, you can go up to flip, and it will flip the flamingo for you. So I utilize this a lot too when you're working on spacing. You could even, I'm sure Sean feels like that some days. You can flip it upside down.
That's more appropriate with the medicinal marijuana.
Now you look like Jeff DeCibio in a Zoom call.
Exactly. I stand on my head for you.
Or that flamingo had some brandy.
Right. So there's a lot of different, there's also transparency. You can utilize that to kind of change the coloring and the focus on that. That can sometimes be good with an actual picture. Let me see if we can do a photo. Maybe not a flamingo.
Hey, Amanda, so what's directly above the background? You have the duplicate button there as well, not in the top right corner, but just inside that. What does that duplicate?
That duplicates the page.
The whole thing.
The whole thing. So see, now I've got two versions of that.
Okay, so it's not just the item.
Canva has where I selected Facebook post, you could select presentation, like I did the presentation at the beginning. And that's helpful in that particular realm as well. So that when you do like like instead of a PowerPoint, if you're going to do it in Canva, then you can just duplicate a particular page and it'll have the template for you. And
hey, Amanda.
Well,
go ahead.
Yep.
This is Becky. I do have a question. Sometimes in Canva, when you do a block of text and you're using the smaller text, however you adjust it, if you're using it in a printed version, that text is sometimes kind of fuzzy. Do you have any suggestions on, it's just not very crisp?
So I've had that problem before. And I don't have any great suggestions, Rebecca. Is that when you're normally saving it in the PDF form?
No, PNG.
Oh, the PNG, and it comes up fuzzy. Okay. Now that I have not had. I've had it happen before when I've saved in a PDF. Okay. I don't know if you have an example that you could send me, Becky, I could take a look at it and see if there's something that stands out to me. Could be corrected, because I've not had the problem. I'm glad you pointed that out though. So when you have finished your whole thing, that will hopefully not look like this mess, but I did that to kind of show you purpose. I just wanted to have these people in and kind of do the transparency. You can see where you can kind of change the coloring of that, which is sort of fun. But when you're ready to save, you come up here to download, and you can save it in various forms, the PNG, the JPEG, the PDF, and things of that nature, and save it to your desktop, and then you'll have it used going forward. Very easy to do. Let me go back out to home here and show you. So this is all of the work, you know, all of the designs that I've ever done, and it'll save them as well. So you'll have your whole library going forward like this. And then frequently I'll go to my own designs and utilize that as a template for a future design. This kind of makes that easy.
I've toyed around just very basically. It seemed like there was a 3D option as well.
Yes, there is. And off the top of my head, I will tell you, Sean, I don't know if the 3D option is available on the free version. It is definitely available in Pro. And let me pull here if I can get one up here. You can also animate up here where it says to animate, and that will allow you to, you know, so then they rise up to the page. Can you see kind of the little animations that it'll do for you? So you can save that and animate your Facebook posts so that when you post them on Facebook, it will do that. And there is a 3D option, and I'm not 100% sure how to get to that. Might have to pull that one for you, Sean. I've utilized it before. I might have to look that one up for you just to make sure. Might be under effects here. And so these effects, some of which are only available on the Pro version, but they will let you do some different things. You know, you can apply a color palette and things of that nature to your post. That gets it a little bit more high tech on that one. Any other questions? I know it's been a lot of information kind of coming out to you all. Anything else? Let me just pull up here. Let me go back one more time to this. Let me go back to my home here. I just want to share this last page here so that everybody does have it. And this last page has my contact information, so feel free at any time to reach out to me. I'm happy to chat with you and do more detail about this. And then also all of the information of how you can connect with our district. And we'll be posting this up to our video channel within the next day or so on YouTube, and I'll send a link to all of you who have joined us here this evening so that you'll have a direct link to that as well. And I would, of course, appreciate the feedback as to, you know, we talked about this was just sort of a basic course for those folks that had not been able to do that before, and I'd appreciate any feedback for the rest of you of what else you would like to see our district do and participate in.